Does Frodo survive to see Sam in the Undying Lands? If you read the appendices of Lord of the Rings, you will know that in 61 of the Fourth Age, Sam's wife, Rosie, died on Mid-Year's Day, and on September 22nd of that year, Sam would finally make his trip west. However, one thing that Tolkien may have kept open-ended was whether Frodo will survive to see Sam when he comes. So today, we will discuss some arguments for this idea, and then some arguments against this idea. In Letter 325, Tolkien says that the hobbits will die of their own desire and of free will. This gives some hope that they met, but it is not conclusive. It might be comforting knowing that they will have one last embrace when Sam arrives in the Blessed Realm, but it might also be comforting knowing that Frodo and Bilbo reached an end to their sufferings not too long after arriving there. The argument that Frodo will live to see Sam in the Undying Lands, even while knowing that neither of them will become immortal, would be that Sam simply went there to see Frodo. Sam went to the Undying Lands on September 22nd, which is the birthday of Frodo and Bilbo. Sam's own birthday is in April. Thus, he could be making the trip with the intent to see Frodo. After all, there's even a deleted epilogue where Tolkien writes that Sam was telling his daughter that he hasn't exactly said goodbye to Frodo for good. When Sam sets sail, he'll be 102, and Frodo would be 114 if he was still around, which would be pretty old for a hobbit compared to their average lifespan at about 100, but if you consider that the old Took lived to be 130 without any sort of ring, 114 is not exactly unheard of for hobbits. Sure, arguments against would involve the idea that going to the Undying Lands would shorten their lifespans once there. It seems to involve a different scenario in a different time period, as they are discussing Numenorians in the Second Age. The difference between that and the Hobbits' trip is that these hobbits were given special invitations to go to the Undying Lands, a place that typically only elves would go. Additionally, the Numenorians sought Valinor, but the hobbits did not seek Valinor, but rather went to Tol Eressëa, the island at the coast of Valinor. And lastly, as for Frodo or other mortals, their sojourn was a purgatory, but one of peace and healing, and they would eventually pass away, die at their own desire and of free will, to destinations of which the elves knew nothing. So why would Frodo die at his own desire and of free will before Sam arrives, knowing that he knows that one day Sam will come? Which will lead us to our arguments against this idea of Sam meeting Frodo in the Undying Lands. One of the arguments against it would be that as mortals like Frodo set sail, their lifespan was shortened once they get there. The doom of the world, they said, one alone can change who made it. And were you so to voyage that escaping all deceits and snares you came indeed to Aman, the blessed realm, little would it profit you. For it is not the land of Manwë that makes its people deathless, but the deathless that dwell therein have hollowed the land, and there you would but wither and grow weary the sooner, as moths in a light too strong and steadfast. This would hint that mortals who go to the Undying Lands will wither and grow weary the sooner, like too much light. While there's an argument for this ending, which is that this only applies to the Numenorians who decide to defy the laws of Eru, and it does not apply to Frodo and Sam who were chosen to take this trip, the fact remains that 114, while not exactly unheard of, is still longer than most hobbits. After all, Frodo's journey of taking the ring to Mordor was supposed to represent a great sacrifice. Thus, when he goes through this journey, he will be so wounded at the end, when he was staying in the Shire for a few years after he came back from Mordor. It would be hard to tell if the longer lifespan attributed to being a ring bearer, as we see in Bilbo and Gollum, would still apply once Bilbo and Frodo go to the Undying Lands. It is possible that due to the sacrifice of Frodo taking the ring to Mordor, he wouldn't have an extended lifespan due to having carried the ring, and could very well not want it. We also know that in the Middle-earth legendarium, death is a gift given to mortal men from Eru-Ilúvatar, and hobbits are descendants of men. Thus, they would be subjected to the same fate of death eventually. Additionally, the Numenorians sought Valinor, but the hobbits did not seek Valinor but rather went to Tol Eressëa, The island at the coast. The island at the